Well, after making the opening sequence, this thriller, I've learned quite a lot about how to use particular. Well, after making the opening sequence, this thriller, I've learned quite a lot about how to use particular types of media equipment, such as the semi-professional cameras that we used, along with the tripods. I would like to have used a little bit more, like the track, the steady cams, and the crane a little bit more. But I think for what we got on film, it was pretty decent anyway, with the tripod, because we wanted it to look quite rustic and quite shocking. So we wanted a lot of movement with the camera anyway. We did have to film quite a lot of additional shots. That's just simply because when we finally finished the filming, we didn't think that it flowed completely well the entire way through. So that's why it doesn't really match the storyboard a whole lot. That's why there's a lot of extra still pictures of the girl in there. And, you know, I think overall it makes the film better. When we were filming, we did have a lot of problems with the location and with like little things like trying to get the actor on to do the film and things, because we couldn't really find anyone to do it. But the location was very awkward because we had to be dead careful because of the camera, just in case we broke it. And when with the costumes, the only problems we had with that was we had to provide our own costumes and our own makeup, and it did cost us like a little bit of money, but the way it came out in the film, it seemed to be pretty worth it in the end. Lighting wasn't really an issue. It was quite well because we filmed at roughly the right times that it's supposed to appear in the film, which was it was made pretty easy for us, and it was just down to careful planning. It does differ quite a lot from what we originally planned, because we originally planned to involve the opening credits right at the end, but because of the flowing issue with the film where it didn't really connect well, we had to incorporate that into the actual sequence, and that's why we used the stills instead of it just jump cutting constantly between shots of the character moving around his own home. And we had to change that simply just because of the flowing problem that we had, and because little technical faults on the camera, like it paused at one point, or the camera was a bit too shaky. We did encounter one technical problem, which was on the tape. As the character's walking downstairs, the tape must have been dirty or something, and it's come out a little bit awkward. But it doesn't really make any difference to the film at all, because it's not very distracting when you're watching it. There's no problems really with the actors apart from the timing issue when he could do it, or when she could do it. That's for the girl. With the mise en scène, that was pretty straightforward because the setting was already there for us. We didn't have to go anywhere special for it. It was just in a local park. With the lighting, that was already there because of the timing that we did it. The makeup and costume, that was the only one that, because it cost us a little bit of money, but it was obviously worth it in the end. With the sound, we had a lot of problem with the sound because basically none of the sound on the video is actual sound. It's all edited, and that's just because it sounded a bit awkward with the music in the background. But there was quite a lot of shots in the woods when we had to take them because of the character sitting up. It was just because of space issues, really, because we had to put the camera into some bushes and they were slightly rocky, so we had to get in there and hold it still ourselves. We found it quite easy to use Adobe Premiere just because it was just a simple system to use, and it was just everything just fit into place perfectly. The music was quite good because we managed to find a good composer on the internet who allowed us to use his music, and it set the tone for the film, and I thoroughly think it made it sound really, really good. And special effects we just used black and white on a lot of the death scenes, and that was just to make it look surreal to the audience and bring out the characters' emotions at the time. And we used a lot of fade in and fade out, and that was to just basically signify waking up and maybe a soul leaving the body, which was to do with the dead girl.